What is up, bookworms and constant readers? Welcome back to the channel. Today, as promised, last day of the year, but I finished it. The Dresden Files, Book 2 by Jim Butcher, Full Moon. If you haven't seen the review that I did of Book 1, which is Stormfront, highly recommend checking that out. I'll put a link up here to Stormfront. This really isn't a sequel to Book 1. It is a kind of a continuation of a story. The covers on these, I always like to start with the cover. They always have cool looking covers on them. Even the spines, they look really cool on the shelf. You can't see them because they're behind some of these books here. But I got all the paperbacks. I don't have the mass market paperbacks. I don't have the hardback versions. I got into these just last year, I believe it was. A friend told me about them. They described it as like Harry Potter meets the X-Files, which is sort of true. The thing that makes these so good is Jim Butcher's writing style. I mentioned this in the first book, and it continues on in this book. These have like a old, like 1930s film noir detective type story, and Harry is not only a wizard, but he also is a private detective. And these books, they are total page turners. I loved every minute of this book from beginning to end. These are some of my favorite books. And if the series keeps going like these first two, this will easily be one of my favorite series of all time. I cannot recommend enough that you all pick these books up. Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files. You can find all the books. They're readily available. Amazon, any bookstore has them, and just start with the first one and keep going. You won't be disappointed. I think there's like 20 books in all. There may be more than that, but I think there's like 20 of them. He just finished the series, I think it was either earlier this year or last year. So what is Full Moon about? So this book, it picks up a month after the events of the first book. And this is why I say read the first book before you read this book. You really don't have to, but there's a lot of stuff that is referenced in this book that happened in the first book. So like I said, it's not a sequel, but it's a continuation of the story, and it really would help to know what happened in that first book. So a month has gone by, and Harry is still recovering from the events that took place in that first book. And all of the favorite characters from the first book are back in this one. He is still a struggling private detective. He sort of helps the Chicago Police Department with strange cases. They really don't like him, and now Detective Murphy has trust issues with Harry, even though he's proven himself time and time again. She's saved his life. He saved her life. None of that matters. She, doesn't like him, doesn't like working with him. But she brings him in on this new case. There's murders that are happening all over the city, and they believe it to be a serial killer, but the FBI is also getting involved, and they need Harry's help to find out what is going on. Harry quickly realizes that this isn't just some regular killing, and that's why they brought him in the first place. And Harry believes that it's either a werewolf or a pack of werewolves, because these people are just torn apart. It's just nasty, messy crime scenes. And then our old friend, the crime boss of the city, Marconi, however you say his name, he's mixed up in this, of course. They believe it to be someone trying to kill him. And then as the story goes on, all the twists and turns will have you guessing until the very end. Just what is the deal? Like, who is behind all this? And not only is Marconi a target, but so is Harry. Just like the first book, somebody is out to kill Harry Dresden. And he has to figure out who is committing these murders, while not dying in the process. The book is really action-packed. It's just like the first one. It is a page-turner. You won't want to put it down because you have to find out what happens next. I cannot rave about these books enough. I recommend them to everybody. I recommend them to you. They are kind of like Harry Potter meets the X-Files. There's magic. Harry is a wizard. There's supernatural creatures and stuff in these books. They are fantastically written. I can't recommend them enough. If you've never read the Dresden Files, I highly recommend it. I didn't even know about this till I started reading these books, that there was actually a TV show, the Dresden Files. So I might check that out after I read the books. This will be one series that is appearing regularly on the channel. I've already started the next book. Right now I'm currently reading, I believe, 4 different books. So I'm reading the next book in the Dresden series. I believe it's Grave Peril. And then I'm reading Stephen King's Lacey's Story. And I'm reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And then I'm also reading book 2 that takes place in Alaska for the 50 States, 50 Scares book. If you haven't seen the video on that, I did a overall video that lists the books that are in that series. It was a list put out by the New York Times, and it's 50 of the scariest books that take place in all 50 states. The first one took place in Alabama, and it was, I don't even remember the name of it. I'll leave the link up here, though, so you can check out that series of videos. The one that I'm on, I think pretty much everybody's heard of, because it was a major motion picture, and that's 30 Days of Night. It takes place in Barrow, Alaska, and it's about vampires. It's very cool. So one of those books will be the next book that I review on the channel. But when it comes to the Dresden Files and Jim Butcher, some of the best books I've read. These are super fun to read. They're really quick reads because you don't want to put it down. I can't recommend them enough. Stay tuned for book 3 in the series. Like I said, this one, it's a murder / crime novel about werewolves. Really cool. It'll have you guessing all the way to the end. Really enjoyed it. Go check it out. This is a short video. It's the last video of the year. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you stick around next year for more reviews. As far as goals go, I didn't even come close. Taking almost 4 months off for school and not doing any videos really hurt me. This year I only picked up like 4 subscribers. The channel is at like 14. I checked this morning. I don't expect to get any new ones. But yeah, the channel's not really growing. Part of that is my fault. Hopefully that'll change this year. They keep telling me that I'll have way less reading this semester. The new semester starts January 10th. So until then, read more books.